Now, I could ask you to put together a list of strengths and weaknesses in each market. You should probably have a list of strengths and weaknesses for your government market, for your association market, for your catering market, for your weddings market, for your IBT market. You should probably have strengths and weaknesses. So the next time you're going to bid on a piece of business, you need to ask yourself this question: who else is bidding? Your presentation, your proposal, we've talked about this for 3 days. Your proposal and presentation means nothing until you compare it to who else is bidding. You have to be the customer. The customer is going to lay 3 proposals down side by side. There's yours, there's the other 2. And they're going to compare the 3 proposals. And trust me, they're looking at strengths and weaknesses of the 3 properties. Price was way down on the list. Price is way down on the list. So here's what you need to do. You need to have somewhere in your office a list of strengths and weaknesses. We're going to call this affectionately a matrix. This is your matrix. It should be in everybody's marketing plan. Yeah, I don't expect you to memorize the strengths and weaknesses of every hotel, but I sure expect it to be at your fingertips. So the next time you come running into my office, say, Steve, I got a chance to really book a nice piece of business. I say, that's great. Sit down. Who else is bidding? I don't know. You're not ready to make a presentation. You got to die trying to find out who else is bidding. Otherwise, your proposal cannot be compared to anything. So if you find out who else is bidding, what you want to do is pull up the matrix. Here's your strengths and weaknesses. Here's their strengths and weaknesses. Here's the magic moment. And if you get this, go to the head of the class. Where your strengths are the same as their strengths, you better not make that the thrust of your presentation. You got it, they got it. The customer's saying they both have it. Nobody wins on that one. And yet we find too often our salespeople are saying, well, we'll meet your needs, we have great accessibility, we'll build a wonderful relationship, we're business friendly, we don't have a casino, we have awesome location, our service is fantastic, our food is good. You don't think every other hotel is saying the exact same thing? You didn't break any tie there, and yet we just thought we delivered a fantastic proposal. No, you delivered one that looked exactly the same as the 3 other hotels that are bidding. But take heart. Where your weaknesses are the same as their weaknesses, the truth is you've lost nothing competitively. You don't have it. They don't have it. They don't have shuttle to the airport. You don't have shuttle to the airport. It's okay for you to mention, if you'll look, none of the hotels in our area have shuttle to the airport. And if that's a true statement, I'd say it. But we've made other arrangements for you. And if you have a large number of people coming in, we've got a list a mile long of transportation experts we work with all the time. We'll take care of that. Here's the bummer. Where your weaknesses match up unfavorably with their strengths, you have a problem. And this would be the moment when we morph from removing resistance at the point of sale to negotiating. We'll get to that in a moment. And it's going to sound like this. Lindsay, you're right. We don't have that. And the other hotel you're looking at does have that. Tell you what I'm going to do. This is how we're going to address that. You're stepping right into negotiating. That's sales skill number 4. And that's how you know when you've just entered the negotiating phase. It's a point of resistance that you cannot overcome that the other hotel has listed as a strength. But here's the winner-winner chicken dinner, where your strength matches up favorably against their weakness. That becomes the thrust of your presentation. That's the money shot. Look, we have this, and it's clear it's important in your decision-making process. The other hotels you're looking at, they don't have it. Now, you don't have to say it that way. A meeting planner with any sense will get that because they're looking at your proposal, they're looking at your proposal. But if you don't mention that in your proposal, all you do is talk about it over the phone, but it doesn't show up in writing, it doesn't show up in your e-proposal, it doesn't show up in your email that you subsequently send them, you're asking an awful lot for them to remember it. You haven't made that the thrust of your presentation. This is huge. If you can get to that moment in time where you know who else they're looking at, right? And the thrust of your presentation is your strength measured up against their weaknesses, there's a high probability you will land that piece of business. You could probably even land it at a couple of bucks more because you have something they need. This is very sophisticated stuff, yet basic and very elemental, right? And yet, how often do we do it?